if it's floating around the Lions Twitterverse or anywhere else, I got to talk about it. And I just made a video either last night or 2 nights ago about Tyler Lockett. And I brought in that video why I don't think that Brad Holmes is going to sign someone of Mike Evans' caliber, because financially, the financial ramifications are going to be too high, because that money is going to go to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And with what Mike Evans' camp rumoredly, allegedly is saying he's not demanding, but he's looking for, I find it very hard pressed that the Detroit Lions are going to sign a guy like Mike Evans. But let's take a look at this Twitter account from Jordan Schultz, which I thought this was pretty cool. I really don't have any type of Twitter flex or Twitter following, but something that I saw that was really cool, I didn't know this until today, is that he follows me. So I did not know that. I don't keep up with people who follow me back. I try to, but I've been following him for a while. Bleacher Report's NFL Insider, and that is pretty cool. So anyway, from this morning, there's a couple things that happened this morning. Basically, contracts for Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans voided. So they were going to be set to be free agents, and no matter what happened, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the hook for just over $14 million in dead cap because from Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, because their contracts voided. But here's coming from Jordan. Says the Buccaneers had a soft deadline today to get an extension done with Pro Bowl wide receiver Mike Evans, but both sides remain far apart. Sources say Tampa Bay is set to take on $7.4 million in dead money, but by not getting a deal done today, and that time has already passed. Talks will continue, but my understanding is Evans is trending toward becoming a free agent, barring an unexpected change in discussions. Now, one of the things about this is, in order for Mike Evans to be franchise tagged, it would require just over $28 million. So it's very unlikely that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to use their franchise tag on Mike Evans. They probably will wind up using it on safety Antoine Whitfield. We talked about him earlier in the day. Now, Mike Evans was a huge guy that my eye was on from basically during the preseason. Because if you guys remember, if we go back to the preseason, Mike Evans set a deadline of opening day for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get a deal in place. And I remember specifically being in Kansas City that morning, getting ready for the Detroit Lions, Kansas City Chiefs, and I get a push notification on my phone that no agreement was come to. I think it was the day before. So it might have been the day before I left to get to Kansas City that talks had stopped because Mike Evans refused to talk about anything during the season. And you see how far it took him to the divisional round of the playoffs. And then the trade deadline comes along, and his name was big on the list. But no major moves had been made when it came to really free agency. There was not really a huge move that was made. So now you have Mike Evans. More than likely, I'm 98% sure this guy is going to become a free agent. But if we look at his stats, first of all, the dude's been in the league for a long time, right? And if we look at his stats coming off of the 2023 NFL season, 79 receptions, 1,255 yards, 13 touchdowns, an average of 15.9 yards. If we look at the dude's stats, he set a record for, I want to say, 10 consecutive years over 1,000 yards. And in 2017, he played it close. That would have been the one blemish on his record, but he holds the NFL record for consecutive seasons over 1,000 yards. Now, the thing that really gets me about you guys is, okay, I'm really tough on Brad Holmes and when it comes to a guy and his age, because we're talking about 36, 35, 34, where the guy's production doesn't match his age, all right? But if we look at Mike Evans, this dude will be 31 during the season, okay? And he's almost getting better with age. He literally had 3 consecutive seasons that were better, that got better and better and better. Took a slight dip from 2019 and 2020, but 2020 was the year of COVID. This was another year he was very close to not making that 1,000. But the dude is still balling at an elite level at 30, soon to be 31 years old. Now, as you see right here, this is the voided, the dead cap. He got all this money already. So if we go and we look at his prior transactions, his prior contracts in 2018, I believe it was, Mike Evans signed a 5-year, $82 million deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with $55 million guaranteed and an average annual salary of $16 million per year. And if we go to his market value here, what is his market value? $23 million. So that's a little less than he's rumored to be looking for. I don't know. That's a lot to be asked. That's a lot. That's a lot. Even though his production seems to be it's not going down, because if you see here, you guys talk about health. He didn't miss a single game in 2017. He was hampered by a hamstring, but he didn't miss a single game. We thought he was going to miss that game coming to the Detroit Lions, but he didn't miss a single game. He played 15 the year before, 16. So he's relatively healthy, especially getting older when in age. So Mike Evans. I said earlier that the Detroit Lions, I just don't see them doing something like this. As much as I would love for it to happen, we have two priorities before we even touch free agency. It's essentially one, which is take care of our own guys. And that includes Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, and everyone else, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Josh Reynolds, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, everybody that's already in the little nest. And then we'll branch outside of that. And I truly believe that Brad's primary focus, as far as the money, where the money's going to go, is going to be a defensive player, preferably a defensive end. That's where I think he's going to go. So that's the main reason why I don't think Mike Evans is going to be a Detroit Lion. However, if Amon-Ra St. Brown, let's say Amon-Ra St. Brown was going into year 3 instead of year 4, or if St. Brown might have already been under contract and we got some more free money somewhere, then I could say that we would sign to somebody like Mike Evans. But again, this was a huge something that could have happened going into 2023, even at the trade deadline of 2024. But alas, it didn't happen. And unless Mike Evans is, because he has a Super Bowl ring with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so him winning not necessarily would be the path that he follows. He might take money over being a champion because he's already got that Super Bowl ring. But if by any chance he likes what he saw in Detroit and he would come on, I don't know, a 1-year, 2-year deal for just over $10 million or something like that, which I don't see. He was already making $16 million in 2023. So I just don't see this being a reality as much as I would want it to be. But it's going to be intriguing to see where Mike Evans lands in 2024. Everybody's saying that he's going to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that right there would be something. Mike Evans to the Kansas City Chiefs. I do believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to wind up with a big name wide receiver. So that's my thoughts. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I think our best shot at Mike Evans was a trade, which would have been at the beginning in 2023 or at the trade deadline of 2024. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you like the Detroit Lions to get Mike Evans, and how realistic do you think it is? But even if he doesn't end up a Detroit Lion, where do you think Mike Evans plays football in 2024? Leave it down in the comment section below. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel as well. Hit that subscribe button. We're on a push to 20K, trying to get there by the beginning of free agency, which is just under 3 weeks. So you guys can help me do that. When we do that, I will be giving away the old Detroit Lion that was sitting behind me. It's a 33-inch Lion compared to this one. This one's 48. So that's why you guys can see it and no more complaints. So subscribing, you must be a public subscriber. I can see if you're public. Don't worry about it. If you want to know how to do that, your subscriptions have to be public. So you have to go into your settings and put allow subscriptions to be seen. That's how you do it. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.